Hello, welcome in ROSE project. रयत शिक्षण संस्था सातारा, सद्गुरू गाडगे महाराज कॉलेज कराड, 12th ROSE project 2021-22, presented by Katkar Priyanka Shah. This ROSE project is conducted by Sadguru Gadge Maharaj College Karad. My subject is physics. Topic number 15 from paper 2nd, physics paper 2nd, structure of atoms and nuclei. Structure of atoms and nuclei. Let us see introduction of that chapter. Energy of electrons, energy levels of hydrogen atoms, ionization energy, limitation of Bohr's model, de Broglie's explanation, and atomic model. Mainly in that lecture we will see that points: energy of electrons, energy level of hydrogen atom, and that next energy of electrons. The total energy of an orbiting electron is the sum of its kinetic energy and electrostatic potential energy. Thus En is equal to 1 by 2 mass of electron plus Vn square plus minus Z dot E square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into Rn. So En is equal to minus me into Z square into a raised to 4 divided by 8 epsilon naught into s square n square. That is equation number 2nd. We know that in last lecture we already studied that Rn is directly proportional to n square. That is radius of atomic number, atomic orbits is directly proportional to a square. Here in that lecture, En is equal to mass of electron into Z square into e raised to 4 divided by 8 epsilon naught into s square into n square. This is equation number 2nd. The negative value of the energy of the electron indicates that electron is bound inside the atom. The negative value of the energy of the electron indicates that electron is bound inside the atom, and it has to be given energy so as to make the total energy 0. That is to make electron free from the nucleus. Above equation 6 shows that the negative value of the energy of the electron indicates that the electron is bound inside the atom and it has to be given energy so as to make the total energy 0. That negative indicates that the mass of the electrons which is bound to the atom, and here Z is equal to atomic number of the any atom. E raised to 4 is the charge of electron, epsilon naught is the permittivity, H is a that is Planck's constant, and N is equal to number of the orbits. Here the energy increases with increasing n. Energy increases with increasing n. Substituting the values of the constant m into E into H and epsilon naught in the above equation, we know that the mass of electron is equal to how much value? 9.31 into 10 raised to minus 31 kg. E is equal to charge of electron 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. H is equal to Planck's constant, and epsilon naught is equal to permittivity of the free space 8.854 into 10 raised to minus 34. So this much the value above. By putting the value of the epsilon naught, mass, E and H, we will get the above equation. En is equal to minus 13.6 into Z square divided by n square, and that energy of the nth Bohr orbit is measured in electron volt. So this is equation number 7. The first orbit n is equal to 1, which has minimum energy, is called as ground state of the atom. the first orbit n is equal to 1, which has minimum energy, is called the ground state of the atom. Orbits with higher values of the n and therefore higher values of energy are called the excited state of the atom. Orbits with higher values of n and therefore higher values of energy are called as excited state of atom. If the electron is in the nth orbit, then it is said to be nth energy state. If the electrons in the nth orbit, then it is said to be nth orbit state. For hydrogen atom Z is equal to 1, the energy of the electrons in its ground state is minus 13.6 electron volt, because Z is equal to 1, N is equal to 1. So E1 is equal to minus 13.6 into 1 square divided by 1. So for hydrogen atom, energy of the electrons in its ground state is equal to minus 13.6 electron volt, and the energies of the excited state increases as given by equation 7. Here is the energy level for hydrogen atoms. This diagram shows lowermost energy level, which having the value E1 is equal to minus 13.6. 1 minute. Here first lowermost energy diagram shows the ground energy E1 is equal to minus 13.6 electron volt, that is n is equal to 1. When n is equal to 2, energy becomes E2 is equal to Z square divided by n square. So here by putting that value, the value into the back formula, we will get E2 is equal to minus 3.4 electron volt. Then E3 is equal to n is by putting value of n is equal to 3, we will get E3 is equal to minus 1.51 electron volt. Then upper by putting n is equal to 4, n is equal to 5 up to the n is equal to infinity, we will get different types of the energies. That is E4 is equal to minus 0.85 electron volt, E6, E5 is equal to minus 0.54 electron volt, and E infinity is equal to 0. So E1 is equal to minus 13.6 electron volt, E2 is equal to minus 3.4 electron volt, E3 is equal to minus 1.51 electron volt, and E4 is equal to minus 0.85 electron volt. E5 is equal to minus 0.54 electron volt up to the, by putting n is equal to 1, n is equal to 2, n is equal to 3, n is equal to 4, n is equal to 5, we will get the different types of the energy levels, transition between them for hydrogen atom. So with the help of that formula, that diagram, we can get different types of the series: Lyman series, Balmer series, Paschen series, bracket series, and Font series. So first is Lyman series, then Balmer series, Paschen series, bracket series, Font series. So these are the series. Here energy level for hydrogen atom. Energy levels are shown in above diagram. Okay, so energies are measured in electron volt. SI unit of energy which are measured in electron volt. The energy levels come closer and closer as n increases, and their energy reaches a limiting value of 0 as n goes to infinity. As n goes to 0 to infinity, the energy becomes changeable. The energy required to take an electron from ground state to an excited state is called as excitation energy of the electron in the state. The energy required to take an electron from ground state to an excited state is called as excitation energy of the electron in that state. Then energy level of hydrogen. For hydrogen atom, the minimum excitation energy of n is equal to 2 state is minus 3.4 minus 13.6 bracket complete is equal to 10.2 electron volt. For hydrogen atom, minimum excitation energy of n is equal to 2 state is minus 3.4 minus 13.6 bracket complete is equal to 10.2 electron volt. in order to remove or take out the electron in the ground state from hydrogen atom, in order to remove or take out the electron in the ground state from the hydrogen atom, that is to make it free, we have to supply 13.6 electron volt energy to it. This energy is called as ionization energy of hydrogen atom. This energy is called as ionization energy of an hydrogen atom. So, in order to remove or take out the electron in the ground state from hydrogen atom, that is to make it free and have zero energy, so we have to supply 13.6 electron volt energy to it. This energy is called as ionization energy of hydrogen atom. That means we have to remove an electron from the lowermost ground state. To make it free, we have to supply 13.6 electron energy to it. This energy is called as ionization energy of hydrogen atom. Then definition of the ionization energy of an atom is, what is the definition of ionization energy of an atom? This is very important with respect to definition. It is asked for 1 mark. The ionization energy of an atom is minimum amount of energy required to be given an electron in ground state of that atom to set the electron free. The ionization energy of an atom is the minimum amount of energy required to be given to an electron in a ground state of that atom to set the electron free. So it is a binding energy of hydrogen atom. If we form a hydrogen atom by bringing a proton and electron from infinity and combine them, if we form a hydrogen atom by bringing a proton and electron from infinity and combine them, 13.6 electron volt energy will be released. So according to the third postulate of Bohr's, when an electron make transition from mth to nth orbit, m is greater than 1. According to the third postulate of Bohr's, when an electron make transition from m to nth orbit, m is greater than 1. So the excess energy em minus en is emitted from the photon. Excess energy em minus en is emitted from the photon. The energy of the proton, which can be written as h nu, that is nu being the frequency, is therefore given by h nu is equal to me into z square e raised to 4 divided by 8 epsilon naught h cube into bracket 1 divided by n square minus 1 upon m square. So I will repeat that the energy of the proton, which can be written as h nu, and nu being the frequency, is therefore given by h nu is equal to mass into electron, mass e, me, that is mass of electron, into z square into e raised to 4 divided by 8 in epsilon naught h cube into second bracket 1 upon n square minus 1 upon m square, bracket complete, which can be written in terms of the wavelength as. Okay, so here c is the velocity of light in vacuum. We can define constant called as Rydberg's constant, RH. RH is equal to Rydberg's constant. That constant is equal to, RH is equal to me into, me is a mass of electron, into e raised to 4 divided by 8c, 8 into c into epsilon naught into h cube is equal to 1.097 into 10 raised to 7 m inverse. That is equation number 8. That is equation number 8. In terms of r, the wavelength is given by, in terms of r, the wavelength is given by 1 upon lambda is equal to RH into z square into bracket 1 upon n square minus 1 upon m square. RH into Z square into bracket 1 upon n square minus 1 upon m square, that is equation number 9. This is called as Rydberg formula. This is called as Rydberg formula. Remember that given by hydrogen Z is equal to 1. Hydrogen Z is equal to 1. Then again next point is limitation of Bohr's model. Even though Bohr's model seemed to explain hydrogen spectrum, it had few shortcomings which are listed below. So what are the limitations of Bohr's model? First, it could not explain the line spectra of atoms other than hydrogen. It could not explain the line spectra of atoms other than hydrogen. Even for hydrogen, more accurate study of the observed spectra showed multiple components in some lines. Which could not be explained on the basis of this model. So the intensities of the emission lines seem to differ from line to line, and Bohr's model had no explanation for that. Even though Bohr's model seemed to explain hydrogen spectrum, it had few shortcomings which are listed below. What are the few shortcomings are? It could not explain the line spectra of atoms other than hydrogen atom. When we consider the atoms or the substance other than the hydrogen, then it cannot be explained that Bohr's model. Then even for hydrogen, it cannot be more accurately study the observed spectra showed the multiple components in some lines which could not be explained on the basis of this model. Then intensity of the emission lines seem to differ from line to line and Bohr's model had no explanation for that. Then third, on theoretical side also the model was not entirely satisfactory as it arbitrarily assumed orbits following a particular condition to be stable. There was no theoretical basis for the assumption. A full quantum mechanical study is required for the complete understanding of the structure of atoms, which is beyond the scope of this book. Some reasoning for the third shortcoming, that is theoretical basis for the second postulate in Bohr's atomic model, was given by de Broglie, which we consider next. So we have seen in that material particles also have dual nature like that for light, and there is a wave associated with every material particles. De Broglie suggested that instead of considering the orbiting electrons inside the atoms as particles, we should view them as standing waves, similar to the case of the standing waves on strings or pipes as studied in. The length of the orbit of an electron has to be an integral multiple of its wavelength. Thus, the length of the first orbit will be equal to the 1 de Broglie's wavelength, lambda, of the electron in that orbit. So that is the second orbit will be twice the de Broglie's wavelength of the electron in that orbit, and so on. So 2 pi r n is equal to n lambda n is equal to 1, 2, 3 giving, and lambda n is equal to 2 pi r n divided by n, that is equation number 10. The de Broglie's wavelength is related to the linear momentum Pn of the particle by lambda n is equal to h divided by Pn. So h is equal to m into Vn. Substituting this equation 10 gives Pn is equal to Hn divided by 2 pi Rn. Hn divided by 2 pi Rn. So thus the angular momentum of the electron in the nth orbit, Ln can be written as Ln is equal to Pn into Rn. So Nh divided by 2 pi, which is the second postulate made by the Bohr. So here is a standing electron wave for the fourth orbit of an electron in an atom. here is a mainly consist of nucleus and standing electrons becomes. Then constituent of the nucleus. The atomic nucleus is made up of subatomic. Atomic nucleus is made up of subatomic, meaning smaller than atom. Particles are called as proton and neutrons. Together, protons and neutrons are referred as nucleons. When we combine protons and neutrons, then it is called as nucleons. Mass of the proton is about 1836 times that of an electron. Mass of the neutron is nearly same as that of the proton, but is slightly higher. The proton is positively charged particle. The magnitude of its charge is equal to the magnitude of the charge of the electron. Magnitude of the charge is equal to magnitude of the charge of the electron. The neutron, as the name suggests, is electrically neutral. The number of protons in an atom is called its atomic number and is designed by Z. The number of electrons in an atom is also equal to Z. Thus, the total positive and total negative charges in an atom are equal in magnitude and the atom as a whole electrically neutral. The number of neutrons in a nucleus is written as N. The total number of nucleons in a nucleus is called as mass number of the atom and is designated by A is equal to Z plus N. The mass number determines the mass of the nucleus and of the atom. The mass number determines the mass of the nucleus and of the atom. The atoms of an element X are represented by this symbol for the element and its atomic and mass number as X, A, Z. For example, symbols for the hydrogen, carbon and oxygens are written as H11, C12,6, oxygen 16,8. The chemical properties of an atom are decided by the number of electrons present in it, that is by Z. The number of protons and electrons in the atoms of the given element are fixed. For example, hydrogen atom has one proton and 1 electron. Carbon atom has 6 protons and 6 electrons. The number of neutrons in the atoms of given element can vary. For example, hydrogen nucleus can have 0, 1 or 2 neutrons. These varieties of hydrogens are referred to as H11, H21 and H31 are respectively called as hydrogen, deuterium, tritium. Atoms having same number of protons but different number of neutrons are called as isotopes. Atoms having same number of protons but different numbers of neutrons are called as isotopes. Then atomic model. Thus, deuterium and tritium are isotopes of the hydrogen. They have the same chemical properties as those of the hydrogen. Similarly, helium nucleus can have 1 or 2 neutrons and are referred as 3 2He and 4 2He, 4 2He. The atoms having the same mass number A are called as isobars. Thus, 3H1 and 2He3 are isobars. Atoms having same number of neutrons but different values of atomic number Z are called as isotones. Thus, 3H1 and 4He2 are isotones. So, this is the end of the lecture number 2. Thank you everyone. We will meet another lecture. Bye.